true and on the security reality. Government is committed to securing every part of the country.
In the last 2 years, significant progress has been made in the war against terrorism across Northeast, South, North Central parts of this country. Within this period, the number of terrorism-related attacks plummeted. In March, a report, and I want you to listen to this. In March this year, the Global Terrorism Index indicated that terrorist attacks in Nigeria. The Nigerian government did not say this. It is also the international community represented by the Global Terrorism Index that has given us this information.
That several arrests, bandits, terrorist kingpins, sponsors, and informants are being made on daily basis, with the rescue of tens and hundreds of victims from the.
Less than 2 months ago, two nationally suspects, Muhammad Khan and Abu Bakr, are wanted not just by Nigeria, international community, including the United States, are currently after the coordination and the armed forces. The two of Bidali Sudan, commonly known, it is Nigeria's affiliate. They were captured, like I said, in a high-risk, intelligence-led counter-terrorism operation only a few months ago, and this has been welcomed by the national community.
Mohammed said the federal government procured military hardware from the U.S. The situation in troubled spots across the 6 geopolitical zones.
Nigeria welcomes dialogue, welcome cooperation, we also welcome support from foreign nations, including the United States of America, in addressing our shared security concerns. Warmly invite all our partners, both domestic and international, to join us in this war, anchored on trust, on collaboration, and also based on mutual respect.
The minister assured diplomatic channels to promote fundamental human rights to life and freedom of speech, which are universally recognized tenets of democracy. In Abuja, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, says this moment in the nation's history offers a unique opportunity, irrespective of its political side, to unite and prioritize the city negatives, as the current administration is working assiduously to rid the country of terrorists. A press conference convened at the National Address in Abuja. Alabi has all the details.
Nigeria's protracted confrontation with outlaws now on the home straight. Key stakeholders very eager to see this onslaught to its end, has a push action with the political will to remove the last vestiges of terrorism in the country. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, is terrorism under the President Tinubu's leadership in the past 2 years. The youth curtailed access to small arms and light weapons to non-state actors, recovery and destruction of over 5,000 rifles, interception of over 20 gun-running networks, and increased investment in modernized equipment as well as security for agencies to carry out their duty more efficiently. Meanwhile, number of terrorist attacks in the country with Global Index spotlighting it as lowest in a decade. In the last 8 months, the Nigerian military has neutralized over 592 terrorists in Borno alone, freed 250 hostages in Zamfara and Kaduna and intercepted and killed 400 armed who swooped in to attack a village in Zamfara state.
And that's an testimony that government is alive to its responsibilities and is not shirking, duties of protecting lives and properties. So it's important for us as obvious of vision as to be circumspect when it comes to reporting of issues. Except one is deceiving himself. Nearly everybody in this country knows that there is no deliberate target of any religion for persecution. There are factors. Sometimes when these terrorists go to attack, they don't go to attack because inhabitants of those communities. They go to attack for different reasons, largely economic.
Despite the challenges persist, the briefing reassured Nigerians of President Tinubu's resolve in tackling the multi-faithfully killed. Positive insight. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
Similarly, a cross-section of personalities have appealed to Nigerians to unite behind against alleged persecutions by President Donald Trump. This was immediately held press conference by the Minister and National Orientation purported straight against the claims of existential threats to Christians and urged Nigerians together fight common enemies working against the progress and prosperity of the land.
I call on Nigerians, let us live the reality of our country because it belongs to us, and we know for sure there is no deliberate persecution or otherwise of any religion in this country. That is reality. Live the reality of our country and support our president.
Attempt to pretend to lie about the existence of a threat that is not real, but based on a past, it should avoid.
And more likely, actually, they have information they cannot contextualize appropriately. They draw conclusions they are not entirely sure of. But it's also a wake-up call. If somebody is saying something to you that is not good or that is not true, get up and talk. Otherwise, everybody will.
In the same vein, the federal government has reached the international community calling for support in its current drive to ensure stability and ongoing reform agenda, while issuing a firm reminder to respect the nation's sovereignty. Representing the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Secretary of the Ministry, Umar Ahmed Dunoma, briefed diplomats stationed in their various missions in this regard. Garba Nata'ala report.
On arrival, as the Permanent Secretary takes his seat, silence and attention tilted towards his the diplomatic corps on the economies and their impact on all Nigerians.
Under this administration, the government is taking decisive actions to stabilize the environment, expand social investments, and improve security. The government remains focused on national prosperity and economic gains, continuing to implement far-reaching and beneficial reforms that are beginning to yield the desired results.
On security, the party is committed to protect citizens and strengthening global groups on mutual respect.
Nigeria has consistently demonstrated its openness to dialogue and cooperation and constructive engagement, which in the engagement between states in the international system.
The silence, perhaps, has made a difference. And one question remains hanging in the balance. So far, the move now left forward. The briefing is meant to correct any statement or rhetorics that dominated news headlines recently in Abuja. Garba Muhammad Nata'ala.
And still on the statement by the U.S. President, reacting, of course, by President of tolerance Correspondent Harun reports that Kaduna remains a symbol of unity in diversity.
Nation of tonight as diverse and complex, Kaduna State stands tall as a beacon of peace and unity in diversity. Once known for its church, the state has become an existence where Christians and Muslims, young and old, continue to live, work, and grow together. Understand. Sent declaration by the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, as a country and that religious reacting.
If bandits or terrorists, if they strike in Zamfara, the likelihood that maybe 90 or 99% of the people that will be Muslims. Same group strikes in Benue, in Plateau, the likelihood is that maybe 80 or 90% of it would be Christians.